is before you. One by one we will take you.
We're back.
We are.
We are here to do our top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
Yeah.
Now this, we wanted to remind you, is our top 5 show, which is a bonus for you because you actually get top 10 because David and I go into this blind, not knowing what we're going to pick, and we're going to do 5 apiece.
5 apiece.
Yeah, so I guess we could start with number 5. What's your number 5, David?
I lost our 2.
Number 5 for me is The Eternals.
Oh,
I love the movie. As we talked about when we did the special feature on it, we both love mythology anyway. They did a great job. I think it sets up some great questions for the future of Marvel. And for me, it's just an incredibly well cast, well filmed, well done movie. Eternals, number 5.
Love that movie. It's going to be in my honorable mentions because I could not narrow it down. There's a lot of Marvel movies out there, and it is really hard to choose. My number 5 was Iron Man, the one that started them all.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of the character. He brings humor to the film. It introduces at the end with Nick Fury, that there may be other superheroes out there. Just absolutely the best teaser for me who, grew up reading these comic books, knowing they were coming.
Perfect. And my number 4 is Iron Man. Yes, and again, you cannot go wrong. It was great casting, great directing. I love the villain in it. I love Jon Favreau's direction was excellent. It sets it all in motion. It sets it up.
And it's an origin story, and origin stories can tend to get boring, but I appreciate them if they're done well, and we have not seen them done to death like Spider-Man. My number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy. This was a property I was not familiar with, but it screams the Marvel I remember as a kid because they were fun, dramatic superhero stories, but Marvel had a huge sense of humor that you don't always get in these movies. Guardians brought that humor into the movies. So
And you knew it wouldn't be in my top 5 because I'm not a Guardians fan. That's just me though, folks.
Well, and it's also an outer space one too, which is so it's my outer space movie. So let's go to number 3.
My number 3 is Avengers Infinity War.
Oh,
I can watch it repeatedly over and over again. I love the bleak, dark ending. I love the power of it all. I love this you feel that they built to Thanos being this, and he was going to do it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, he did do it. Sort of thing. So loved it. Infinity War, one of the best movies. One of my probably top 20 movies of all time.
Wow. I mean, I would kind of agree with that and any of the Avengers movies. That's why I had such a hard time picking.
Well, yeah, me too.
My number 3 is Black Panther. I had always liked this character reading the comic books, but I had never read his own comic book. I just knew him from the Avengers. And so to get this whole origin story of Wakanda and this secret city that's very high tech. And I mean, it was a phenomenon. It was kind of a cultural phenomenon too when it came out because it kind of brought Marvel beyond the comic book fandom into the mainstream world. So I just think it's a huge movie.
And that is one of my honorable mentions because I just could not. It is such a well done movie, culturally, visually, story wise, and pace. Just a great movie. Cannot wait to see Wakanda Forever when it comes out.
The trailer looks great.
Oh, this was hard. This was so hard. Pick 5 Marvel movies.
I mean, you're asking us to pick our babies.
Yeah.
My number 2
is
the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
Because it was the one I was waiting for the most. I mean, as soon as I saw Iron Man and knew they were setting up for it, I was like, the Avengers was my favorite comic book. I cannot wait. And when Joss Whedon, when he brought it to the screen with the humor and the camaraderie, and all of a sudden New York City being invaded by an alien army, and it was just epic.
Excellent choice. It was very hard for me to pick the top two, because I went back and forth and back and forth. But my number 2 is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
I knew you were going to go there.
Always been one of my, I sometimes say it's my favorite Marvel, and so I struggle with it. I love sections of this. The elevator fight alone is worth admission to this, but the plot twists they do in it. I love Natasha and Cap's chemistry in this. I love her kind of pseudo flirting with him, going, "Was that your first kiss? Really? Was it?" And just the way that, the way they utilize him, and then just finding out that it can be, that these people you trusted that you thought of all the time were really Hydra the entire time. Loved it. And that also tied into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I also love and adore. So there you go.
Tagging on to the Captain America thing, Iron Man was alternated with the first Captain America movie for me like twice. I mean, I bounced them on and off this list because I love the first Captain America movie because of the World War II aspect. And that was the stuff I remember from the comic books and the Red Skull and it being in a different part of history that we were unfamiliar with. That brings me to my number 1, which is another Avengers movie, it is Endgame.
Endgame, okay.
And I chose Endgame for similar reasons that you chose Infinity War, and that it is a post-apocalyptic movie, and I love post-apocalyptic movies, and it is one of those that starts off very dire and down, and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? How are they going to come back from this? And they do, of course, because they're the Avengers. Right. And then it ends with iconic moments just scattered throughout the last 20 minutes of this movie. I mean, just deaths, funerals, gatherings, climax.
When we hear Falcon say, "On your left," just like he did in Winter Soldier, and suddenly he flies in, and Black Panther walks in with Shuri, and everybody was going, "Oh my God!" Yeah. I took your number 2 and made it my number 1, which is the original Avengers. I can watch that movie over and over and over and over again. And have several times. It is just brilliant. I love it. Joss Whedon's, like we said, his writing, his pace, all of that works. That was the top 5. Those are,
and we both had 2 Avengers movies.
Correct. We both had 2 Avengers movies, which, that's the point of Marvel, in my opinion. You can have these great one-offs. Even Iron Man 3 has some things I like about it. It's not a bad movie. It's just that the Avengers are usually a little bit more global, intergalactic, everything, and it's the camaraderie between them that makes it an interesting story.
And you're getting all the characters, so you're getting more bang for your buck too. Honorable mentions. We have several.
Okay.
As far as movies, I would say Captain America: Civil War, which is also in a movie with more than 4 Avengers in it. Infinity War, which you already mentioned. Ragnarok, which is clearly the crown in the Thor series.
Yes.
But some of the lessers, Shang-Chi, I absolutely love it. To me, it's like the Asian equivalent of Black Panther. It is a marvelous origin story in a land that we're unfamiliar with because it's a secret land. It's just great. Eternals, which I'm with you. I love the origin of them. I love the mythology aspect and the fact that it's intergalactic. Love all that stuff. It's a global threat as well. And then also Doctor Strange and Spider-Man: Homecoming are both really up there with me as well.
Okay. So. My honorable mentions, I had 3 from the films. One I mentioned was Black Panther. It was in my honorable mention. I wanted to get it in the top 5. It just didn't make the cut. The other one is the other Avengers movie, Age of Ultron. I like James Spader. I like Ultron. I like the introduction of the twins and the tragedy that happens with them and everything. I just like that movie. Again, it's Joss Whedon, so the humor in it works and is character-driven humor, which I like a lot. And then my other one was yours, Shang-Chi. I was going back and forth between it and Eternals. They both kind of came out at the same time. Mm-hmm. They both have some really strong things to them, but I just think Eternals has more mythology to it. Shang-Chi does have mythology, but just I enjoyed the diversity in Eternals better.
I love that we both embraced Eternals when most of mainstream America does not.
I know.
I just think they don't get it.
They just don't get it. It's
as far as TV honorable mentions, and you're probably going to list the same. Well, no, you may not list the same one. WandaVision and Loki are high up there with me, but I also really like Hawkeye, and I really like What If, the animated series. So.
My number one would be WandaVision, of course. I think it's brilliant and well done. And then my number two is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't care what Marvel says. It's still part of the Marvel universe. It still works for me, and it's great. Every season is different, is unique, and Coulson is a god. So I just love it. So
well, there you go. I think it's kind of ironic that neither of us mentioned Captain Marvel.
Nope. But I love Captain Marvel.
I like it too. It just didn't make the cut. Yep. And of course, none of us mentioned the Defenders, those Marvel series that were on Netflix. And the reason for that on my part is that I am currently watching them now. So I have not seen them. That's our
top five. Yeah. If you guys have an idea of a top five for us, send it to us. We'd love to do it. And because, it is Johnny Has the Keys, not only is it a top five, you get 5 extras. So it's a top 10.
Yeah, it's really a top 10.
Can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.